without further ado, let's get started. So our first question is, are you interested in artificial intelligence? Yes, I am. Absolutely. I'm really interested in the development of artificial intelligence. I try to use it as much as possible with different chat bots. I use ChatGPT. I also like generating images. So I use DALL-E 3. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I really love experimenting with all these different AIs. Next question. What are some common uses of AI in everyday life? I think, as I said, we definitely use chatbots, and we're seeing more and more self-driving cars. I think we're going to see that especially more over the next few years. So also you see AI generated music, pictures, nowadays videos. So it's really becoming widespread throughout society. Excellent. Okay, I feel like this is perhaps going to be a difficult one today. We're going to go on to part 2. And part 2 today is describe a job that you think could be replaced by artificial intelligence in the future. Wow. So as usual, I won't give myself any preparation time. I'm going to launch myself straight into it. You will be listening for my structure, so you will hopefully hear me going from the past tense, moving into the present, and then if I have time, into the future. So just listen out for that, and let's just put 2 minutes on the clock. I've got my timer here ready. Okay. So describe a job that you think will be replaced by AI in the future. My time starts now. I'd like to tell you about life coaches and business coaches. About a year and a half ago, I started using ChatGPT, and I started experimenting with different prompts that you can use. And I was just really impressed by how intelligent it was. As I got better at delivering prompts to the AI, I found the answers improved as well. And one of the things I discovered was that it was very good with business coaching. I didn't use it for life coaching, but I certainly asked it some very deep questions related to business, and I was really impressed with the answers. So let me tell you a little more about my experience with AI as a business coach. I asked it a number of questions strategy-wise about my business, and just got a very thorough response. I dug even deeper. I asked it further questions. I asked it to develop its answers. And overall, yeah, I was really impressed and kind of surprised. It gave me some ideas that I hadn't thought of before. Of course, another thing to think about with this is that later we will have AGI, artificial general intelligence, which will be even more smart and think like a human. So I can't imagine what answers we'll get then. So for me personally, ChatGPT has become quite an important part of my life. I use it for idea generation and structuring things and getting information. It's a good source of information. In the future, I hope to continue using it even more. I don't know how good it's going to become. I think some people fear that. But as I said, that... Excellent. Okay. I was quite happy then, because that was an example of me going through the entire structure. You heard me start with the past, move to the present, and sort of talking more just how I use ChatGPT. And then I did give for me personally, which is my opinion. And then just at the end there, I started talking about the future, which is how I end my 2 minutes. Of course, we do want to hit 2 minutes. That's really important. We don't want to just stop at 1 minute 30. Ideally, we want to hit 2 minutes. Okay, great. Let's get straight on with some part 3s. So, how can AI improve the quality of life for people? I think that AI can really take over a lot of our monotonous jobs. automation means that AI can maybe control robots or do various tasks that are tedious for humans. So in that sense, I think it will be very beneficial for the human race. An example of this is, I think we're seeing more and more factories taken over by robots that are controlled by AI. And I suppose if we can do less of that work and more work that interests us, that would be a good thing. Good. Okay, let's next question. And what are the potential dangers of AI? I think there are a number of potential dangers. Of course, on the one hand, it is taking all of this information that humans have created, and in some cases, especially in art, with videos and artwork, music, there are a lot of copyright issues, and there's a lot of difficulty being faced nowadays with that. Also, there's the ethical issues that come up where perhaps AI, let's say ChatGPT, for example, could give an unethical answer. We heard the case a couple of years ago, I guess, where ChatGPT was telling humans how to create bombs. So that's an example of a danger of AI. Good. I am trying to give specific examples. Remember, in part 3, we want to start with a direct answer. We want to give it detail, and we're getting more and more specific, and we end with an example if possible, because that's the most specific thing we can do. Good. Okay, part 3, last question. How do you think AI will evolve in the next 10 years? Wow, that is a really difficult question to answer. I think if we're talking about 10 years, we must have AGI. Now, AGI means that as I understand, AI can self-learn, create its own information, and just keep developing far beyond human intelligence. So I suppose to focus on the positive side, I think AI is going to discover a lot of things that humans couldn't. Perhaps it's going to discover the cure to cancer. Perhaps it's going to discover the cure to a lot of different diseases that are such a problem for humans nowadays. So, of course, there are pros and cons, but perhaps in the next 10 years, AI is going to develop to that point where it's discovering all these wonderful things that will benefit humans. Excellent. Well, that's everything. I told you at the start, I love AI. I hope you enjoyed my answers. I do tend to focus on the positive side, but don't worry, I am very aware that this is a double-edged sword, AI. There are pros and cons, and there are dangers for sure. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's definitely an important one. We definitely have to cover AI now. It's the time. It will appear it can appear in Ielts. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.